We are in our downtown studio with John Schroyer of the Gazette, the video editor. John, yesterday you covered a story almost a little too close for comfort. Tell us a little bit about your day yesterday.
Not covered it. Yeah, not very intelligently, probably. I heard that there was a flash flood warning issued about 3 in the afternoon, a little after 3 in the afternoon yesterday, for Cascade, Cristola, Manitou Springs, a lot of the surrounding area because of the Waldo burn scar and everything. And so figured, all right, I'm just gonna head up Highway 24, see if I see anything. And going up just a little bit past Manitou, and all of a sudden cars on the highway just start stopping and turning around and going the other way. And I couldn't see what was going on, but there was a cop car in front of me that turned on his emergency lights and just gunned it in reverse. It was like dodging cars going the opposite direction on the westbound side of the highway. And if I was smarter, that would have maybe, given me a
red flag
clue to turn around and maybe do something similar. But no, I just, pulled over to the side of the road, and I was like, I wonder what's going on, because I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see any floodwaters or anything. And so I pulled over, and I got my camera out and rolled my window down, and right as I hit record, boom.
And that was before we get to the video, as someone who works in the media, sometimes you want to be safe, but you also tend to maybe go just a step or two further to get the shot, to get the video.
Yeah.
But that didn't even play into yesterday's.
Not really. It didn't even occur to me in advance, and perhaps it should have, that the entire highway would have flooded like it did. Because the highway where it's situated, there's actually a gully that comes down from the north side of the highway and everything. If you drive up there, you can see it, and that's where the water came down. But it just hadn't occurred to me, literally, that the highway itself would flood out like it did, and it did.
Well, let's talk about that video you did. Were you shooting on a cell phone? What were you shooting on?
No, the one in my car while I was getting swamped out. This was on just a handheld Canon that I have, that I usually use when I'm going out to shoot different events and everything. I shot a lot of other stuff and uploaded it yesterday with my phone after this ended and came to a stop.
Well, and let's talk about right here. Talking about you were at a stop, and then it looks like the floodwaters came, and your car just did almost just a 180 the other direction.
It did a complete 180. The water just literally picked my car up, turned it around, and it was like, and just flushed it down the side of the road.
So you're passing all these other trucks, and I see some brake lights going the other way. People are pulling quick U's here.
Yeah.
Let's get this playing again, and here. Okay, you have is that a telephone pole?
I think it was a light pole or something. I honestly don't know. There's a video I saw this morning, actually, uploaded on YouTube, I think, by a guy named Bruce Cheng, who I met. And he actually had video of me, like in my car, like hitting a pole and like knocking this pole over.
Yeah.
And like, and then my car just kept going.
Now we turned off the audio. I'll give you a little bit of credit here. In that situation, you get excited and things come out. You did a pretty good job of keeping it at least PG-13 for this. So we'll keep you on it. But let's have you kind of narrate as you're going down, just what you're seeing and what went through your head.
At this point, I was just kind of holding on for dear life, and you could sort of see I was, for some reason, thought that trying to steer would help. I don't know why I thought that. Instinct. I think I was slamming on the brake at the same time too. Obviously.
Well, no, I mean that's your brain is telling you.
Yeah.
And you're pumping the brakes. I mean, you're trying here.
Yeah, but nothing.
And then you're kind of seeing. I don't know if you can recall, but all this water is kind of going down an embankment over here. Were you afraid that you were going to follow that water all the way?
I wasn't sure at one point. I mean, I came to a stop like right about here.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit before that I did start wondering, how far am I going to go?
Yeah. Yeah. What's going to stop me from?
What's going to happen? Am I going to wind up in the river?
Do you know what you actually caught on to?
I wound up resting on just this big mound of dirt and rocks. I mean, the tow truck driver who came and got me out of that hours after this was like, he was relatively clean when he got there, and then when he finished up, he was like covered in dirt from like just getting down and like trying to like get hooks around my axle or whatever or something like that to drag it out. And he was like, man, that was hard.
I mean, it's not something you see every day, and luckily you're here to actually talk about it, because it could have ended worse. I understand your car is totaled.
A mechanic I talked to today said that it probably cost enough to fix that probably just better to take that money and go get something new. Because a lot of times cars that get flooded, the water messes up the electronics, the onboard computer, stuff like that, and car just never really runs the same. So he was like, you might as well just go find something new.
It's not going to look great on your Carfax.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that was a good Twitter feed.
That's what I was going to say. There's even a Twitter feed about your car's experience yesterday. Tell me a little bit about that.
I was standing on the side of the road there, like after all this, after I got out of my car, I was standing on the side, and somebody started that thing, and I was just standing there reading and laughing and retweeting it. But yeah, somebody, a friend of mine actually, I can't say who, started up this obnoxious Twitter feed just called Schroyer's Car, and used for the profile photo the picture that I tweeted of my car just like stuck in the mud, essentially.
What do you think? What do you think all these people are thinking right now that are watching? Like, oh, whoa.
There were I saw people standing there just like looking over and pointing, and be like, look at that guy. Oh my God.
I mean, did you ever like maybe somebody help me or?
Dude, I didn't bother. Because there's nothing anybody could have done. I mean, I was just sitting there at this point, and the waters were just going like crazy for probably half an hour. I was sitting in my car.
When did you feel safe? Or did you feel safe?
Yeah, I felt fairly safe. I don't know. I never really felt incredibly unsafe. And maybe that's not a great testament to my intelligence, but yeah, I don't know. It was just surreal.
So you got the video. Did you a little bit of almost, oh man, that's terrible, but man, I got something that nobody else has.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
that was a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah.
I admit. I'm not sure if it's worth it. It depends on how much a new car costs, I guess. But yeah, it's a good story.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been getting a lot of attention from this. You said there's been several people trying to get you to talk about this and interest in it. I mean, and one of the things, a major network bought this video from you. Yeah,
I sold the rights to CNN, Fox, ABC, and NBC. So yeah, it'll be out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you're all right, because this, I mean, this is incredible video. Incredible is a top shelf word, but I mean, this was. Would you describe this as an incredible event?
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment. I think that's a pretty appropriate word to use.
And going forward, are you going to try to get this close again, or you've had your fun?
I think I've had my fun, man. There's different ways to have fun, but like fires, you can see them coming. This thing just came out of nowhere. That was the thing. It was just like, driving up the highway, and then all of a sudden, pow.
Yeah.
Just clocks
What do you do?
And it amazing. I told somebody this morning in a different interview that even the term flash flood doesn't really do the event justice because it's so quick and because it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Flash flood, people say flash flood. Well, that doesn't really mean anything, but it's like amazingly quick and stupidly powerful flood.
We've been talking about flash floods for the past year through the Waldo burn area, and what would you say to people when the media does pop up with all these warnings?
This is what happens when you don't heed a flash flood warning. This is what happens when you say, "Oh, crazy! There might be some interesting stuff going on up in the hills right now, even though it's pouring and there's a huge flash flood warning, and the authorities are all saying, move to higher ground."
Yeah, everyone wants to go get a closer look at it.
Ignore it. This is what happens. You got to buy a new car.
How powerful was that impact?
That was jarring enough to. It was basically like slamming into a car.
Yeah.
It was like.
And again, I mean, it's.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I was bouncing off the cliff off all kinds of different stuff. I'm glad I didn't hit any other cars.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And we saw actually there's video of another car coming up behind you. It looked like.
Yeah,
later on.
I saw that today too. I didn't know about that yesterday actually. I just saw that this morning, and yeah, I'm lucky that guy didn't hit me.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened to that car.
It's an incredible video, John. I'm glad you're all right. I do appreciate you spending time with us. And
no problem.